Hi guys, hello besties. This is my first time of coming live here on YouTube, and I am so excited to be live here. Although I'm still learning YouTube live stream, but I just wanted, like yesterday night, I just felt that I'm kind of cheating my YouTube subscribers. Do you understand? Because I have been going on TikTok live, I have been going on Facebook live, but YouTube is left out. Do you understand? So yesterday night before I went to bed, I was like, I promise my YouTube subscribers I'm going to come live today and I'm going to discuss with you guys. I'm going to interact with you guys. So the first person is here. Please, if you are here, just help me to like this live. I don't know if it is same as TikTok. You can tap on your screen. Yes, so I'm so excited. First of all, I don't want to start this class with what I'm here to say. Do you understand? Yes, I'll just start this live by just saying thank you so much for your support. You guys have been amazing. I know that most of your video requests, please, if you are just joining, you are welcome. You can also drop your comments on this live as the live goes, so that I will just we can also discuss. You know, just the way I said, I have been going on TikTok live, I have been going on Facebook live. So yesterday night I just said to myself, why not come on YouTube live? It's just like I have been cheating my YouTube subscribers. So before I went to bed, okay, Chiamaka Maduabuchi, you're welcome there. How are you? Hi. So before I went to sleep yesterday night, I was like, I must come on YouTube live. Do you understand? So this is me, and I know that some of you, this is the first time you are seeing my face live. Maybe some of you are not even following me on YouTube or TikTok. Yeah, but if you are following me on those platforms, you will know me and know my face. So as you are coming in, please, you can just introduce yourself at the comment section so that this will be interactive, and also you can tap to like this live. I don't know if it's like TikTok that you can tap or whatsoever, but just like this live. So today let's just go into the topic. You know, yesterday I was actually on TikTok live. When I finished my TikTok live, I now went to Facebook live, and I was talking about staying on your cake lane. So let me just summarize that topic before we now discuss this particular topic we are in here. Fatima, you are welcome. Annie, you are welcome. Do you understand? So let's talk about staying on your cake lane as a baker. What do I mean by staying on your cake lane as a baker? I was telling my Facebook followers and TikTok followers yesterday. I went on live yesterday. I told them as a baker, it is very important to learn how to stay on your cake lane. Do you understand? You can also drop your questions, please. As we go, you can drop your questions so that this will be interactive. And please like this live. Thank you so much. As a baker, try to stay on your cake lane. It's very important. You know, most beginner bakers, because they don't really have much guidance. Yes, I will say guidance. Hi, Somadina, you're welcome. Hi, how are you doing? Please, as you're coming in, you can still like this live. Thank you so much. You know, most beginner bakers, because they don't have that much guidance in the baking career, you know, I don't know how to say it now, the baking industry, there are so many informations in the baking industry, and these informations most times you don't get it easily. So I'm not surprised when I teach some things on my channel, some persons will be like, oh my goodness, I didn't even know this existed. Oh my goodness, thank you so much for. But if you check maybe the food industries, other industries like tailoring, fashion designing, you will see that there are so much information flying on the internet about those careers. But you see, for baking, the information is really, really very low. I don't know if because maybe bakers that are content creators, they don't really focus on most of all these tips. They just focus on their cakes, show you their cake designs, and that is all. And it is good, it is their own part. Now, what do I mean by staying on your cake lane? As a beginner baker, when you went to learn your cake, you went to your baking school or whatsoever, Do you understand? When you went to your baking school, you learned how to make different type of cake: vanilla cake, orange cake, strawberry cake. You learned meat pie, fish pie, egg roll, all those things. Oh my goodness, it can be stressful. And when you now graduated, in your mind you will now think that, okay, because I learned all those things, I must be perfect in all those things. No, it's a lie. I wish someone told me this as a beginner baker. That is why in the Nigerian baking industry, let me just take an example. In the Nigerian baking industry, once you meet, please, if your life, please and please, like this life. That's the only way you can encourage me. Like this life. If you are in Nigeria, do you understand? You will notice that most bakers in Nigeria, what they are after is how to go. They will tell you they want to go for an advanced class. I'm still talking about staying on your cake lane. Oh. Hi, Adi. Hi, you're welcome. How are you doing? You're welcome. Please, as you're coming in, just tap on the live to like this live. Do you understand? What most beginner bakers are after is they want to go and learn wedding cakes. Maybe you see a beginner baker, she wants to go for an upgrade, and you ask her, okay, what upgrade are you going for? What kind of upgrade are you going for? Before you know it, the person will tell you, I want to go and learn how to make wedding cake. I want to go and learn how to make castle cake. Now, let me be very, very sincere with you guys that are watching me. As I am like this now, that people are seeing that, okay, my works are good, my works are perfect. Up till date, I have not enrolled for a class where, like, castle cake class. I have not learned how to make castle cake. But with my experience, in the baking industry, I can try out castle cake, but I have not gone professionally to learn it. Why? Because I am on my cake lane. I don't need it now. Like, don't you guys get? But some of you beginner bakers, I was giving an example yesterday. Please, I want to bring up my voice so that you guys will hear me. I was discussing with some of my beginner bakers yesterday on TikTok. I told them, see, stay on your cake lane. You must not learn everything. Let people know you for something. That is why if you watch most of all these as in white bakers or Oyinbo bakers, you will see that they are on their cake lane. There's a particular Oyinbo baker I'm following, like a white baker. Do you know what she said one day on her live video? She said she only does buttercream cakes. She doesn't, and this buttercream cakes she does, in the whole of that vicinity, if you are looking for buttercream cakes, she's the one people are looking for. At the end of, like, before a new month comes in, that month is fully booked. But you see some beginner bakers in Nigeria. Today they want to go and learn advanced class in castle cake. Next tomorrow they want to go and learn advanced class in flower making. Next tomorrow they want to go and learn human sculpting. Stay on your cake lane. Know what you love doing. In the baking industry is very, very wide. I'm not saying that maybe as a beginner baker, if a contract on meat pie comes, you should not take. If a contract on samosa comes, you should not take. No. You can take all those things. You can take all those stuffs. But in the baking industry, what is it that you love doing? What is it that you like doing? Stay on your cake lane. You must not learn everything. Abigail, hi, how are you doing? You're welcome. You must not learn everything as a beginner baker. Just keep on doing your normal cake, your butter icing, your fondant icing. Study yourself. Know what you love doing. Now, let me give you, most of these things I say, you won't see it for free online. So please, so that's why you should like this live so that you encourage me. Thank you so much. So what I'm saying is that, see, as a beginner baker, if you're making your cakes, you're baking your cakes and all that, you're making pastries, you need to study yourself. What do I mean by you need to study yourself? You need to study yourself and know what is that thing that I love doing. Like, anytime I'm doing this particular stuff, anytime I'm doing this particular meal, this particular snacks, this particular cake, I'm always happy. I'm always joyous. I am a baker. Do you understand? But anytime I want to do small chops, oh my goodness, I will keep on hissing. Like, my mood will just, small chops, like I see small chops like samosa, spring roll, I see them as a very, very stressful work to do. Do you understand? So I don't really like to accept samosa orders because it to me is very stressful. But there are some persons that they can sit down for a whole 24 hours in a day making samosa wraps, frying samosa. They do it very happily. I have a lady here in this my state. What she does is samosa wraps, samosa wrappers. That is what she does, and almost everyone in this state knows her. Like, she's, when it comes to samosa wraps, samosa whatever, she's the queen. But if you give her like birthday cake, wedding cake, she'll be able to deliver. So look for that one thing you are what you are very conversant with. Look for that one thing what you are very familiar with. Wait, sorry, let me reply this message. Somebody is asking me a question on my WhatsApp. This person that is asking me a question on my WhatsApp, I'm sorry to bring it here. Let me just reply her because she seems desperate. And let me just tell her that I'll chat her up later. You know, the problem here is that she has been chatting me. She rented a shop as a baker. Do you understand? She rented a shop as a baker, but her shop rent will soon expire. And she doesn't know how to pay the shop rents. And even the shop she opened, like, according to what she said, nobody's patronizing her. Do you get? Nobody's patronizing her. So she's asking me, and she's shy. She's shy of closing down the place, maybe shy maybe of what people will say and all that. That's why I always say, as bakers, before you open a shop, before you go and rent a shop, first of all, in your house, look around your house. Use your kitchen. Once you graduate from your baking school, make a small space in your kitchen. Some of you, your parlors are very big. Some of you, you hardly eat in your dining. When I was in my father's house, I used our dining area as my baking section, as my decorating baking section and content creation, because we hardly use our dining. I just decorated a place very beautiful with wallpapers, like all these wallpapers and the rest. It was very, very beautiful. That was how I set my baking content creation. Do you understand? So, but you know, some bakers, they'll just rush, go and open a shop. And you know, as a baker, opening a shop is not really that easy, because you know, once you pay utility bills, you pay your staff, you pay your workers, you pay taxes, you pay for environmentals, you pay for health. Maybe, I don't know if it is different for other states, but I'm talking about my state, so it depends. So before you open a shop as a baker, you need to take some things into consideration. You need to take some things into consideration, like what? Maybe like, what is the amount of contacts you have? How well do people know you? Because you might have a shop as a baker. People will leave your shop and go to someone that stays at home. You know, this baking industry, do you understand? This baking industry is more of, who do I know? It's more of, go and bake with that person. Like, it's more of connection. Let me just say it clear. It's more of connection. So anyway, you are people, but I'm not saying that if you have the money, you should not go and open a shop. I'm talking about beginner bakers. You don't need to rush. You need to just calm down. You understand? Study yourself. So let me just reply her a little bit. Let me just, please help me and like this live. Please help me and like this live. So that is it. Oh my goodness. I will reply her later. Okay, so that is it for that. I just deviated a little bit, so I will reply her later. I already told her I will reply her later. So that is it for that. So staying on your cake lane, know what you really want as a baker. Anytime you're baking, what do you like doing? What do you like making? So as a beginner baker, it is not a must that your advanced class must be in wedding cake. It is not a must that your advanced class will be in castle cake. It is not a must, because that is what people normally advertise online. That is what is like in vogue. So people think that it is a normal thing that as a baker you must go and learn how to make wedding cakes. You can focus as a baker. When I was in Bauchi State, There is this baker, she knows how to make cakes, she knows how to make so many things. Do you know what people know her for in Bauchi State? What they know her for is meat pie, fried meat pie. If you taste this woman's meat pie, when anything they are making, any event they are doing in the government house, she's the one that supplies their meat pie. Any event, all these international organizations that come into Nigeria to maybe help people and the rest, if they want to organize their conference or whatsoever, if they are hosting it in Bauchi, she will be the one to supply them meat pie, and her meat pie sells out massively, guys. Concentrate on something, but that doesn't mean that you should not also touch a little bit. So if you want to, like as a baker now, you can tell yourself, okay, please, so I want to go for my advanced class. I want to start hearing things like, I want to go for my advanced class to this bakery. There's a particular bread in this Anambra State that is very, very nice. This bread is very, very nice. What's the name of the bread? The name of, okay, let me not call the name of the bread. Let me just say the name of the bread is 12-star bread. Do you understand? This bread is very, very, very nice. I can just say, I want to go for my master's class, I want to go for my advanced class, and I want it to be in that bakery. I want to just go and learn the advanced way. What do you mean by advanced class? Advanced class means you want to go and learn the more perfect way of making that stuff, the more meticulous way of making that stuff. So you can just say, okay, I want to go for my advanced class in bread making, and when you come out, like, you'll be a hot cake, because once you come out to your advanced class in bread making, all that will be in your head is, how will I open my own bakery? Even some persons, they started their bread making business from their home before they even opened a big bakery. But some bakers, they want to learn dessert cake, they want to learn wedding cake, they want to learn castle cake, they want to learn cocktail, they want to learn mocktail, they want to learn fries. I gave an example of my friend back then on Facebook. They want to learn fries, all these potato chips, all this. They want to learn yogurt, they want to learn zobo. I'm not saying no, you can have a knowledge of all those things, it's very important, but become a master in one, that when people in your area or maybe in your state are looking for a particular vendor, they would come to you. That is also how to be a successful baker, staying in your cake lane. So your advanced class you can go for advanced class in small chops like samosa, spring roll, puff puff. And once people know that, okay, this lady, she's very, very good in this stuff, people will come. Sorry, let me reply to this message. People will come to you. Please, if you have any question, you can drop your question. Okay. This person say, are you on Onitsha? No, I'm not in Onitsha. Yeah. So that is just it. So becoming a successful baker is what? Looking for that particular thing you are good at. What is it that anytime you're making, you are so happy making it, or you're doing it? Do you get? So I think that is all. Then, talking about how to become a successful baker, there are so many factors that determines or that will qualify you to become a successful baker. Do you understand? There are so many factors that will qualify you to become what? A successful baker. That is it. Okay, Boss Adi, hi, how are you doing? Nanji, Ella Best, you are all welcome. Thank you so much. You're all welcome. So that is it. So please, so now the number one step of becoming who is this? I hear the African accent. I know this. Oh my goodness. Who is this? Passport Spooky. Well, okay. Rachel, hi. You're welcome. Passport Spooky, what are you saying? So that is just it. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So if you want to become a successful baker, the first thing you need to do, although I have listed out one thing, which is what? Staying in your cake lane. Try to focus on something. It is not all classes that comes out or people advertise. You want to go into the class, you want to go and learn everything. You can learn everything, you can know everything, but at least have a focus, have what you really want. There's a particular lady that just opened a cafe in my city. Do you understand? So that cafe, what she sells only is small chops. If you need samosa, is there. If you need spring roll, is there. If you need money bags, is there. If you need puff puff, is there. Only small chops. So stay in your cake lane. So, but first of all, to become a successful baker, you need to have the skill. Have you gone to a baking school? Have you trained yourself? There are some persons that are self-taught bakers. Do you understand? So if you want to become a successful baker, first of all, you need to have the skill. And not just having the skill, you need to have passion for what you are venturing into. Because you know, the truth that nobody or people don't hardly say is that baking is very, very stressful. But it becomes interesting when you have passion for it. I know what I'm saying. Some of you on my life, I know that you know what I'm saying. Baking is very, very stressful, but it becomes interesting when you have passion, because there are some days that you bake a large amount of cake. All those cake will get spoiled in the oven because you forgot to add baking powder. There are some days that you after placing all your cakes in the oven, you on your oven and close your oven thinking that the oven is on fire, not knowing that the oven is not even on fire, that everything, like you are waiting hours upon hours for that cake to be done, just for it to go to the exact time, and you notice that what, there is nothing there, your cakes is not even ready. Baking is frustrating. Will I talk about the sleepless nights? Will I talk about the back pain? Will I talk about the leg pain? You will need your fondant. For those that don't have mixers, all those mixers. Okay, this person said, so even if you are learning online, do you still need to go and register somewhere? Okay, let me say, I won't say yes, I won't say no. If you have the money, do you understand? You can go and register some in a physical class. You will still learn, but you know, everybody's brain is not the same. There are some persons that they learned their baking skills online only, and they are like, if they tell you that they learned their baking skill online, with the way they do their cakes, the way they do everything, you won't even believe. You won't believe them at all, because they are so perfect in it. So it depends on your brain, it depends on your capacity. If you feel that you're learning online and you are not really getting what you want, because even some persons that went for a physical class, I have them in my DM, they went for a physical class and they are still in my DM asking me one questions to the other. So even before you register, if you want to go and register for a physical class, I will advise you, if you have the money, please look for a good tutor, because now most people think that baking, to make money, you have to teach others. So that's why you see many tutors online teach advertising their cake classes. Why some are genuine, some are not even genuine, because see, it's not all bakers that can teach. There are some places you go, you even regret being there. Like the first place I learned how to bake, you understand, I didn't even learn anything, because like everything was just like a joke, till I came back to my town, Jos. That was when I had to go and upgrade, like go and learn more again. Do you get? So it depends. If you have the money, go and register for an online class, but be careful. But if your capacity, if your brain, you understand, if you can take it online, it's still okay. There are some persons that are self-taught bakers and even doing way more bigger things than even the simple buttercream cakes and the rest. So Ella best, if you are learning online, is nice, it's okay, it's the best, you understand. But if you have the money, go and register for a physical class, you would also enjoy it. Do you understand? So I think that's what I have to say for that. So if you have questions, please, you can ask me your questions. Please do me a favor by liking this live, I really appreciate. Do me a favor by liking this live, I really appreciate. So that's it. It's nice to go for a physical class, you understand, so that you know the kind of recipes you're using and everything. But if you can still take it online, it's still okay. Do you get? So that is it for that. And also sometimes physical classes is also good, you understand, because physical class, when you go for a physical class, you can still ask your bosses questions and the rest. But you know, sometimes most students normally complain that once they graduate, their boss won't even reply to their questions and all that. So if you go for a physical class, once you learn, but as Elabest, as you are learning online, is very very nice. Then when you now register for a physical class, you will still have more questions to ask. And remember, you know, before you okay, let me not confuse you guys. You know, where I learned how to bake, in the baking industry, we have two types of recipes. We have the commercial recipes and the homemade recipe. If you want to go and learn how to bake, do you understand? What I just said something now. In the baking industry, we have two types of what? We have two types of recipes. We have the homemade recipe and we have what? We have the commercial recipe. Now, talking about the homemade recipe is like almost everywhere. Homemade recipe is very simple and it is very very expensive. That is why most of my recipes, like where I learned how to bake, I learned commercial recipe. But you now notice that some bakers, when they go to learn how to bake, they'll go and learn homemade recipe. And before you know it, when they come up from the baking school, they will start their baking business. There is no profit. They don't even have that business mindset, and like they'll just get frustrated. Do you get? So as a baker, before you go and learn how to bake, please just pray about it so that God will show you the right place to go and learn. Is another thing, because people just feel, some bakers feel that okay, they want to just cash out from students. Like as I am like this now, I don't have a physical class because I am not mentally ready for it. I was teaching back then 2 years ago and 3 years ago, but for now, since I relocated, I'm still trying to find my feet. I'm still trying to like be stable, like so many things, plus marriage and everything. So that is why I've not started my physical class. So I'm not all about the money. If I teach my students have taught, like they even asked me for an advanced class, but because of their money, it's not because of their, I don't need their money. What I am after is what? Impacting knowledge in you. But there are some people that will not even care. They will just teach anything and just collect your money. So that is why I said pray before you go for a physical class. Pray for God to show you directions, to show you the way, for you to know the person to go to. Because there are some persons that you go to and you just go and waste your money. Seriously. So that is it for that. Then, as I was saying, how to become a successful baker. First of all, you need to have the skill. You need to know what you are doing. You understand? And if you want to go into the business of baking, I had a student last 2 years, you understand, that came to learn how to bake from me. She just said her husband said she should come and learn how to bake. And after she learned how to bake from me, she also went to a culinary school to go and learn how to cook. So some persons, they just want to like do for their family, do for their relatives and their family, you understand? Why some persons, they are coming there to come and learn baking for business. So we have commercial recipes, we have homemade recipes. Commercial recipes are more simpler. Commercial recipes last much more longer. Do you understand? Commercial recipes, you have much more profits. But you see homemade recipes, the most things you see online. That is why sometimes when I teach my recipes, some persons will be like, why didn't you add milk? Why didn't you add enough fish? Why didn't you add enough this? I'll be like, people, like, okay, I want to know how to bake cream donuts. Do you mean milky donuts? And Annie, do you mean milky donuts? Let me just state it now. Do you mean milky donuts? Let me write it on mine. Do you mean milky donuts? Let me write it here. I think you mean milky donuts, right? Okay, let me just take notes of that. Okay. I think you mean milky donuts, right? Please clarify me, do you mean milky donuts, so that I will know? So that is it. So another way to become a successful baker is what? You need to have the business mindset of a just have the business mindset. You understand? You need to be very, very good in business. Please, you have to be very good in business, because it's not just all about learning how to make cakes. So because you see some customers, they will really, really annoy you. There's something that will come to you, okay, cream donut recipe. All right, let me just take note of that. And please remember, all my recipes are commercial recipes. You know, there's something my sister said online today when she was teaching people on Facebook. She said, in each recipe, it's not all about, you know, if you some of you don't watch my videos to the end. Some of you videos to the end. See, whenever you are baking or whenever you're doing a tutor online, do you understand? It's like rain wants to fall. They might take this light anytime soon. And my time is already past 30 minutes. I'm seeing your question. If you also have any video requests, please just drop your video request. Please drop your video request. I'll see your video request. I'll soon be off. They might take this light anytime soon. See, if you watch my videos, like if you watch my cake recipes, you will notice one thing. I will always tell you the secret of that recipe. I will always tell you, unless maybe you don't watch my videos to the end, I will always tell you the secret of my recipes. Because it's not just all about coming